पहला आपका मैस डिजास्टर प्लान हमने बनाया,
जबरदस्त।
क्योंकि वो पैन एम का डिजास्टर हुआ, आई वाज देयर। तो जब सर्जिकल ओटी बनाने की बात हुई तो सर्जिकल ओटी में बोला स्टरलाइजेशन सप्लाई डिपार्टमेंट कौन करेगा?
सही।
यू नो, ओके, पैक्स नहीं थे। समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग हैपेंड। पैक्स की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो थी वो नर्सिंग को दी हुई थी, तो नर्सिंग ने बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग हरकत करी। उधर जो उनको नहीं पता था, उन्होंने बोला जी हाँ हम सर्जिकल इक्विपमेंट ऑर्डर कर देंगे, इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स ऑर्डर कर देंगे। उन्होंने This is going to get recorded now. You're going to cut this portion out.
Okay.
वो जो डायरेक्टर नर्सिंग थी उसने 10,000 सिजर्स, 10,000 फोर्सेप्स और 10,000 किडनी डिशेस और 10,000 सिजर्स ऑर्डर कर दी।
10,000?
और ये थैकरे को इंग्लैंड में ऑर्डर भेज दिया,
जबरदस्त।
परचेज करे। तो हमने बोला सर्जिकल इक्विपमेंट की लिस्ट कहाँ है? तो उन्हें वो लिस्ट, मैंने बोला इसमें तो 10,000 10,000 10,000 10,000 10,000, लेकिन बाकी सामान कहाँ है?
बस यही बनवाया।
उसने बोला मैंने तो अब जो मुझे चाहिए मैंने ऑर्डर कर दिया, बस मुझे नहीं पता, आप लोग ऑर्डर करें। बोले यार तुमने ऑर्डर भेज दिया,
और ये क्या बताया भी नहीं है।
फिर बैठ के सारे सर्जिकल पैक्स के लिस्ट्स बनाए।
सही।
वो जब पैक्स के लिए, आज तक वो पैक्स की लिस्ट है, मैंने उस पैक्स की लिस्ट को आज तक है, मैंने 2012 के अंदर कोशिश किया कि ये पैक्स की लिस्ट कम की जाए, चेंज की जाए, मैं नहीं कर पाया। इतना रिजिड हो गया ये सारा सिस्टम।
You made this?
Yeah, but I couldn't alter it because by that time it was no longer in my hand ना, मेरे हाथों में नहीं था, मेरे हाथ से बच्चा मेरा निकल चुका था।
बड़ा हो गया बच्चा। वो
किसी और के हवाले था, किसी और खानदान के हवाले चले। तो दिस इज हाउ इट हैपेंड। तो वो ऑर्थोपेडिक इक्विपमेंट ये सब उस वक्त तक फिर बनू के हम लोग बैठ गए। सर्जिकल स्टरलाइजेशन सप्लाई डिपार्टमेंट भी बना, वो भी देखा, वो भी बनाया, उसके भी सिस्टम बनाए, स्टोर सर्जिकल स्टोर के सिस्टम बने। तो दैट वाज I think an amazing experience I had. I wouldn't have changed it for the rest of my life. It was worth it. It was amazing.
Awesome.
इस तरह के काफी सारे.
Do you remember your first surgery that you did here?
My first
surgery as a surgeon.
First surgery. Oh yeah, first surgery was very, very interesting. The first surgery was trauma. This was a guy who was in our workshop. उसके हाथ की क्रश इंजरी हो गई. His hand got stuck between the wall and crate. और वो फॉकलिफ्ट के साथ वो उठाने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, बहुत भारी था, तो वो पिचक गया. Anyway, that was my first thing. That's what I remember. But the most interesting part was the medical legal side. And emergency room खुल गया था, तो इन्होंने कहा कि मेडिकल लीगल केसेस नहीं लेने. मैंने बोला कैसे आप नहीं लेंगे, आपको करना है. अकॉर्डिंग टू द लॉ यू हैव टू हैंडल मेडिकल लीगल केसेस. यू कांट जस्ट से कि हम नहीं ट्रांसफर आउट करेंगे. मैंने बोला आपको फर्स्ट एड तो देनी है, और फर्स्ट एड आपने दी नहीं और आपका केस वो बना नहीं, आपका वो केस बन गया, तो आपको करना पड़ेगा. तो फिर उन्होंने बोला फिर कैसे करें. मैंने बोला हम करेंगे, फिक्र नहीं करें. So we made the medical legal thing proper. It was वो पहले जो केस आया था उसमें जिसकी वजह से administration got really panicky was a old lady from Karachi, old people's home there. Bichari was diabetic, and she was a diabetic ketoacidotic lady, and we saw her. And they panicked because वो हमारे उस खाना दर के जमात खाने के कोई करता धरता थे, वो लेके आए थे उसको बेचारी को। तो उन्हें बताया कि भाई ये तो मरने को आ रही है बेचारी, शुगर उसकी शायद 400-500 थी और शी वाज कीटोनिक। एनीवे शी वाज लुक्ड आफ्टर एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पैनिक्ड। लाखा साहब जो थे वो परेशान हाल कि भाई ये मर जाएगी इधर। मैंने बोला मर जाएगी तो क्या होगा, आपका मॉर्चरी टेस्ट हो जाएगी, आपका डीप फ्रीज टेस्ट हो जाएगा, आपका सारे सिस्टम टेस्ट हो जाएंगे, आपका डेथ सर्टिफिकेट टेस्ट हो जाएगा।
और अगर बच गई तो फिर
मैंने बोला बच गई तो ये सारी चीजें बेकार हो जाएंगी आपकी। तो आप इस तजर्बे को तो होने दें, डरे नहीं। बड़े परेशान थे, बहुत परेशान थे। जब तक वो कुदरत का करना हुआ वो बच गई। लेकिन उतनी देर में सारे सिस्टम जो है वो तैयार हो गए। डेथ सर्टिफिकेट बनाने का भी सिस्टम तैयार हुआ। पहला मेडिकल रिकॉर्ड के अंदर के कैसे डेथ को आइडेंटिफाई किया जाएगा वो आइडेंटिफाई हुआ। फिर वो सब ये मॉर्चरी के ये जिसमें आपके क्या कहते हैं कॉन्फ्रेंस होती है, ये इधर मॉर्चरी टेबल थी, मॉर्चरी टेबल हटा दी गई। अच्छा। और वो पीछे उसके फ्रीजर है जी। तो इस तरह था। तो वेरी 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 इंटरेस्टिंग। तो मैंने बोला कि भाई जब तक आप नहीं इस्तेमाल करेंगे सिस्टम को, सिस्टम नहीं चलेगा। ये इस तरह ख्याली पुलाव या जगह डेडिकेट कर देना, लेबल लगा देना बेकार है। जब तक उसको इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे आपको नहीं पड़ेगा। जब कोई गाड़ी को सड़क पे निकालेंगे तो पता चलेगा ना।
सही।
तो
आपको so it's been so many years you've been the person who's built all of this up. How does it feel to have had so many people graduate as surgeons under you? How does it feel to have been the teacher of so many amazing surgeons who are actually working?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Well, it's very interesting. Somebody asked me this how long I'd been here in 2014. 2014 में मेरे से किसी ने पूछा कि आप कब से हैं इधर। तो मैंने बोला 1983 से हूँ। वो चुप हो गया। उसके बाद वो बोला नहीं कुछ। तो कहने लगा कि so many years. I said, yeah. He says, why? And now I didn't have an answer.
Interesting.
So मैं फिर मजाक के मैंने बोला कि when you don't have a serious answer to something, then the best way is to throw it up in the air. I said maybe because I'm stupid. No. So, or maybe I have a stupid streak in me. कुदरत का करना ऐसे हुआ कि ये सवाल जो है वो मेरे फंस गया ना मेरे अंदर। तो 2-3 हफ्ते के बाद किसी और ने पूछा कि भाई आप कब से। तो मैंने बोला I've already answered this question last week and I said I was stupid. I said no, I have one more word I'll add to it. I'm stupid and I'm stubborn.
Yeah, stubborn is more like it.
तो मैंने बोला ये खसलत है। भाई बहरहाल बंदा अपने कीड़ों का कैदी होता
तो है।
और बंदा बुढ़ा हो जाता है, कीड़े नहीं बुढ़े होते।
कीड़े नहीं मरते।
इवेंचुअली बंदा अपने कीड़ों की वजह से रिकॉग्नाइज किया जाता है।
Yeah, agreed. I remember when I was a year 1 और मैं आपकी क्लिनिक्स कराती थी, तो I had asked you once के why did you become a general surgeon या can anybody become a general surgeon, कुछ इस तरह की हमारी कोई बात हो रही थी। तो आपने कहा था माँ के पेट से थोड़ी पैदा होके आता है कोई सर्जन, मुझे पहले से थोड़ी आता था, मैं भी ऐसे ऐसे सीख के बनूं, हर कोई बन सकता है। And that has been my determination to be who I am. So thank you for
true.
teaching.
It is true.
Thank you for teaching me.
And this is, I've had so many fights with senior faculty members when they turn around and say, this trainee is not a surgical material. I said, that's wrong. There's no such thing as surgical material.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as surgical material. Anybody can be a surgeon, provided they have an interest.
Yeah.
If they're not interested, it's a different story. If you have an interest, you can do anything. But to turn around and say he or she is not surgical material is not right.
Indeed.
You know, so many people, I can actually name them today, and they're surgeons.
Yeah.
You know.
अब आजकल हम लोग we talk about mental well-being, we talk about जब आप लोग का ज़माना था उस वक्त इतना ज़्यादा इसके बारे में बात नहीं होती थी, मगर what is your stance on that?
On
mental well-being, on taking yourself.
No, I think the problem, there is a problem. There is a problem in the sense that the work we do, you know, is stressful. There's no two things about it. You know, you're stressed because you're worried about your patient, and tagged to the patient is your reputation.
Yep.
You know, but I look at it like this. Okay, another reason for the stress is the fact that you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
Very few of, you know, so people, I think, unfortunately, so I think surgeons are basically suffering alone, which is bad, in my opinion. I think camaraderie is not there. There is, in fact, the undercurrents of envy, jealousy, maybe a kind of distorted professional rivalry, कह लें, कुछ भी कह लें. हालांकि everybody is going through the same mess actually, but yet we're not willing to help each other out for some strange reason. So it's like, you know, each one of us is sitting on a mountaintop all alone and handling or whatever it is, nature's, the weather and the wind on our own, which is, in my opinion, unnecessary. It's not really necessary. Very few of us are friends with each other. Very few of us contribute to each other's well-being and mental well-being, in the sense that sharing is important, and that doesn't happen. You happen to be lucky if you happen to have number twos, number threes, who you can relate to. Oftentimes that also doesn't exist. But I think that was one thing that I think this place did have. In the beginning, at least, I think it's too big now. It had to go. It had to finish. This competition is great when the numbers are great. When the numbers are few, the competition is less. It's like a small family versus a big family. Yeah. You know, in big families, people develop separately. In small families, it's a much tighter group, much more close observation of each other and understanding and preemptive interference and involvement. Interference nahi kehna chahiye, involvement keh lein. Helping hands are there. People yell, and scream, and shout, and they talk to each other. That's how it works. But in large families, then becomes. I don't want people to see me as a weakling, whereas you are one. वो लोग करते हैं, तो पीछे हट जाते हैं. But anyway, that's a natural phenomenon of size. Yeah. I think the larger the number of people, the more distant they are from each other, because you can't come together somehow. It's very interesting. It is. But it has to happen. I think people need to make a deliberate effort rather than you use subordinates as their. That's a different thing. You need to have your own peer group. level coming together somehow.
Yeah.
I can't come up with a formula. I think the only way that can happen genuinely is when if a group of people move in a unit and they stay in that unit. Switching units breaks up that cohesion.
Yeah.
You know, I still remember Mushtaq Saab ke saath, obviously I used to work with him, but then he talked about recruiting other people. I said, yes, certainly. So he says, you're going to stay with me? And for some stupid reason, I said, no, I'm not going to stay with you.
Interesting.
He said, why?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know. I answered this thing extempore. Let me think about the answer.
Yeah.
This was a spontaneous no. I don't know why I said it.
Okay.
But there must be a reason. I had an inkling of the reason behind that because I'd been thinking about it. I said, यार मुश्ताक साहब का इतना बड़ा नाम था, इतना बड़ा था कि मैंने बोला कि he never forgot that question. Why?
He asked you again?
2-3 हफ्ते के बाद उन्होंने मेरे से फिर सवाल पूछा, बोला रिजवान क्या है? Why is it that you didn't want to be? So then I turned around and I said, sir, if you don't mind, I'll speak about it metaphorically. He says, what do you mean by that? I said, you cast such a dense shadow, nothing will grow underneath you.
Oh, you said that to him?
हाँ.
Wow. फिर?
और बात सही थी.
हाँ, मगर for you being able to tell it to him?
I could talk to him.
Awesome.
He would talk to me.
Awesome.
He used to talk to me.
What did he reply to that?
पूछते भी थे, कहते रिजवान इस patient को देख लेना. What do you think about it? I said, no, don't see it.
Yeah.
I should tell him. I said, sir, I think this is it. But it was a good relationship we had.
इस पे क्या कहा उन्होंने?
जी?
इस पे क्या कहा उन्होंने?
He says, then what do you suggest we do?
Uh-huh.
What are you going to do? I said, sir, when the time is right, I'll work with you for as long as it takes. But when the time is right, I think what we should do is we should have teams of people. Because you can't work 24 hours. I can't work 24 hours. You can't work all day. We work 18, 19 hours a day here anyways.
Yeah.
यहाँ सुबह 8 बजे आते थे, रात को 11-12 बजे घर जाते थे. तो घर सोने के लिए जाते थे.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he used to say, he said, what do you do? I said, so we have teams, make teams. So he said, okay, fine, that's a good idea. We'll make teams. So I said, okay, the team structure will be like this, that you will not switch people from team to team. Everybody stays in the same team.
Okay.
Let the team develop.
Yeah.
And that's how the teams came about. So he was team 1, I became team 2.
Awesome. And how was it?
And he said, the first person who gets recruited will go to your team. The next person who gets recruited will come to my team.
Achha, Zabardast.
And then that's how teams. So, first person who got recruited was Irfan Daudi. So he went to Mushtaq Saab's team. Then it was Shaista. Then she came into our team. Then when team 3 came about, she went to team 3.
Achha, Zabardast. Nice. How was it working with him to working like
alone?
Alone, yeah.
No, working with him was not a problem at all, ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
No, but how did it feel to be, sort of a student?
Independent?
To be independent.
No, I was independent with him as well, in the sense that, other than for the communication part of it, he never ever debated the independence side of it, and he never was critical of anything, because the decisions that were taken were quite similar. I think
Nice.
I think that was how it was. There was never a problem with the Mushtaq Saab. Never. मुश्ताक साहब के बारे में खामखा लोग परेशान होते हैं, unnecessary.
नहीं, हमने सुना था.
He's one of the easiest people to go along with. Yes, I never ever found him to be always available, always willing to kind of let extend it. Yes, you can turn around and say he takes some time to open up. But then each one of us is not this is like that.
Yeah.
You have to turn around and say, would you disclose everything to me? No. You got to have basic trust. You got to have some sort of it's like language, you speak a different language, I speak a different language. You can't come and exchange ideas together like all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So to understand that, you needed to have, I think Mushtaq Sahib is, perhaps I developed that, and therefore I was comfortable, and he was comfortable also. And so we had a different situation. I could speak anything to him or say anything to him, and he would say anything to me. No, not really, but mostly, often enough, he could easily do that.
If you were to give a message to all the residents and people who want to do surgery, what will one message be from you?
Oh, there's several little things that I would want them to do.
Sure.
One thing is write your own operating notes.
Okay.
And I think the other thing is don't bicker about money. It's one thing you should never bicker about, because way more important than money is your reputation.
Yep.
It has no value. It's invaluable. And I think if people look upon you as a mercenary individual, one guy who looks at you like that, you're not there for that purpose. Surgery is much more than this. I mean, fine, money comes by the side, but it should not be the primary focus at all, ever. Unfortunately, it becomes that way. The institution insists on that. Because अब मुझे फिर वो अपने दादी का एक कहा याद आता है हमेशा कि कहती होती थी कि भाई, the story behind it is a pretty long one, but I'm not going to tell you the story, but the thing was, वो मिसरा था कि रूखी सूखी खाई के ठंडा पानी पी, ना देख पराई चोपड़ी ना तरसाई जी।
वाह, जबरदस्त, बिल्कुल।
तो जो आपकी चोपड़ी की रोटी है, बस उसी को खा के ठंडे हो जाओ, दूसरे की रोटी को मत देखो। वो खाता है तो खाता है, वो उसकी किस्मत का है।
बिल्कुल।
I think surgeons, if they had that attitude, then there will not be a problem, because then there's not this jealousy, this leg pulling, morbidity mortality के अंदर झगड़े लड़ाइयाँ, दूसरे को शो करना कि वो नीचे है, ये कम है, ये ऐसी कोई वो नहीं है। I think there's no value to these things, and they don't create value in the currency of exchange either, frankly speaking, between people. I think गलतियाँ सबसे होती हैं, खराबी सबसे होती है, गलत डिसीजन सबसे होते हैं, not a big deal, I think, and this will go on forever. You can reduce the number of times you make mistakes, provided you keep your eyes open, and if you are particular, details are important. बाकी आपकी ज़िंदगी की डिटेल्स इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, बाकी काम के हवाले से डिटेल्स इम्पोर्टेंट हैं. यू पे अटेंशन टू एवरी लिटिल थिंग, राइटिंग नोट्स, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ, एवरीथिंग रिकॉर्ड इज अमेजिंग. आई फाइंड दैट वांटिंग इन डॉक्टर्स. वजह मैं बताता हूँ वो बड़ी क्लियरली है. इट्स स्किल एट्रिशन. वी टेक फर्स्ट क्लास पीपल and we give them third class habits. You guys, from an intellectual point of view, are the best of the bunch in the country. But from a habit point of view, and from another point of view, from the point of view of cultivating work habits, I think we take that away from you because वो जो चीज़ें जो skill attrition is a huge issue. Skill attrition occurs when you don't do something for years and months together. We force you to give up all that you used to do, like music, playing instruments, photography, दूसरी तीसरी चीज़ें. ये तो बहुत आसान हो गया with the camera and all that, everything there. But I look at it like this. All of these things require attention, and they require attention to detail. छोटी-छोटी चीज़ों पे, And I can tell you who is paying attention to detail and who is not by looking at their signature.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's what you were teaching the
students के साथ मैं बैठा था.
हाँ जी.
Which signature can you read out of the telemetry?
These two.
बस.
Zainab.
So nobody's told them.
Yeah.
Okay, don't do this. Write your name. Identity अपनी नहीं छुपाओ.
Yeah.
Your identity is got to be your signature.
Interesting. Yeah, we don't teach that.
Yeah, write your name down. ताकि कल को ये ना कोई कहे कि तुम छुपते हो फिरते हो. नहीं, छुपते कोई नहीं है.
Yeah, बिल्कुल.
Write your name down. Your signature should be readable.
Yeah.
Write your name down. हाँ, बैंक के लिए आप अपना स्पेशल वो चुड़िए बना के कशीदाकारी करें. That's fine.
Yeah.
But not for your work.
Yep.
So I look at it like that. So those of us who have those fancy squiggles, I wonder whether they pay attention to detail. They don't. Paying attention to detail is extremely important in surgery. If you don't pay attention to every stitch, every knot, every placement, everywhere your needle goes, that has to be calculated and has to be precise.
Okay.
You can't go again and again. किसी और के जिस्म के अंदर आप 10 दफा सुई चुभो रहे हैं जबकि एक दफा needed है. I'm sorry, not on.
Agreed.
I think that's how it is. Surgery is like that.
Yeah.
Precision and precision and the only way you can have precision is two places. One is technique and the second is your writing, composition. These are only two places that you can show precision.
Yeah.
Or demonstrate precision. And that's where we should do it. And they're all doable.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Not at all.